According to the headlines, there is a Switch 2 shortage and you're never going to get one. And this is why they're wrong. If you're sick of Switch 2 news, I'm sorry, this is just going to continue until there's nothing interesting to talk about or the Switch 2 is out. So let's talk about why they might be wrong and you don't have to worry. If you've been seeing the headlines, you've seen that there's a rumor that says there's going to be a shortage of Switch 2 consoles, games, and accessories. But with my experience that I've had, I want to talk about it and you can make up your own mind if this is accurate or not. If you're as old as me, you've been around for a few console launches and I lined up for things like the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch, the Xbox, so I've done a few of these pre-orders before and I can tell you that the numbers seem a little fishy to me. When I lined up for the Wii, there were only about 20 to 25 pre-orders that were available. I even got accused of being on the black market because my brother and I both lined up and they gave him a ticket, but we were both buying one console. So we gave somebody else our ticket and they gave us 20 bucks for it. Same thing with the Switch. There was something like 40 consoles available and the Series X only had about 30 consoles available. So those are the numbers we're roughly working with, somewhere between 30 and 40 consoles in my rough area. And if you read into these headlines saying that there's going to be a massive shortage, then you would expect that there's going to be less than 10 consoles per store. Except the rumor that they're quoting says there's going to be about 100 consoles per store. Now, obviously I'm in Canada, so my experience is different than what it'll be in the States, but there's a few other reasons why I think this isn't such an alarming thing, and it's probably going to be the same as every other launch. Nintendo's a giant corporation. They're going to be watching what's happening around the world so they can make decisions for their business. And it's been rumored that for quite a while they've been shipping Switch 2 consoles so they're prepared in the States so they can put them in stores. So it feels like they've over-prepared and actually sent out more consoles than usual to be safe because they don't know what's going to happen after the launch. But besides the number of Switches, you have to remember that people are starting to boycott Nintendo because they're upset about all the greedy things that they're doing. So there's going to be less demand for the Switch 2 than there was for the Switch. And the economy is just tanking, so there are people that aren't going to be able to buy the Switch 2 as easily as when the Switch came out. That's also going to affect how much demand there is. So when you add it all together, the lack of demand, the egregious greed from Nintendo, and the extra consoles they've shipped out, I'd be willing to predict that not only is it going to be the same as it's always been, it may even be better than before because people aren't going to be fighting to get this thing. You'll probably be able to walk into a store and just grab one a couple of days after the launch. So, are you going to be getting a Switch 2? And are you planning to pre-order? Or are you going to go line up? Or are you just going to kind of wait for one and get it when it shows up? Let me know.